Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. Blackwings have just received new support in the latest structure deck, and I decided to take just all three of the structure decks that I could buy, throw the cards together, and only those cards that are in the structure deck, along with the newest full armor master, which was just given to us for logging in, and see what I could make. Now, I wouldn't say that this is the best of builds that you could possibly make, and in fact, we're even missing a whole bunch of cards, most notably 3 synchros that are very useful. No Thung, which gives you an additional normal summon, Obsidian Hawk Joe, which allows you to special summon a level 5 or higher winged beast from the grave, as well as Raikiri, which is a way to destroy cards. On top of that, we're also missing things like Sonhaya, which is a level 5, which is very nice, as well as things like Chidori, which can kind of punch over some things and stuff like that, that just kind of help fill out an extra deck. So we're missing a bunch of stuff, but all in all, what can I do with this? So I'm going to quickly go over the new support and just kind of skim over the older stuff and do the quick card by card. Starting with Orochi. It's just a free special summon as a level 1 tuner. We have Harmattan, which has the ability to level modulate and be a level 2 as well, which does come up occasionally. So we're playing 2 of those, and then the 1 Orochi. We're also playing 1 Sharnga, which is a newer card, which allows you to banish it if you control a Blackwing Synchro, notably not Blackwinged Dragon or the Blackwinged Assault Dragon. Do keep that in mind. You do need a Blackwing Synchro monster, so either Full Armor Master or the one of these guys as well. You can banish it from your grave to pop a face-up monster your opponent controls. So that's or face-up card. So that's pretty nice. Next up, we have Triple Vada, one of the newer cards as well. This card is absolutely fantastic. It's a free special summon, much like all of the Blackwings, if you control another Blackwing. And then on top of that, you can send this card as well as a one or more non-tuner Blackwing monsters from the deck, whose total level equal exactly 8. And if you do special summon a Black-Winged Dragon from your extra deck, and then you are locked into Darks. This is absolutely fantastic. It can send something like a Zephyros. It can even send this guy, Zonda, which is also very good, but it also gives you access to a free level 8, and it's just a free summon, which is very, very nice. So overall, very good card. Just basically allows you to do anything there. Next up, we're playing 3 Chinook. This card is kind of Effect Veiler, which is why I'm playing it. It's only Effect Veiler if you have a Black-Winged Synchro monster, I believe. This is a quick effect. Oh, sorry. If you control a Dark Synchro monster, it is a quick effect. But it basically just allows you to negate a monster effect, as well as decrease that monster's attack by 700, which means that it can help you protect your Full Armor Master. That's why we're playing it. Honestly, probably shouldn't be playing 3 of it. It's really bad, because if you end up drawing more of this, you can't really see the rest of your cards because it only has the 100 attack and it doesn't really do anything by itself. But it's still good. We're playing the double Gale, we're playing double Kalute, we're playing 1 Steam the Cloak, we're playing double Bora, as well as double Zephyros. Those are all cards that we've already, that were already in old Blackwing builds, and yeah. Honestly, Kalute's not all that great, it's just funny, that's why we're playing it. So there you go. Next up, we have Shamel of the Sandstorm. We're playing 3 of this because it basically just allows you to set the Blackfeather Whirlwind, which is kind of an extender, and then on top of that, it allows you additional recursion. If you special summon a Black-Winged Synchro monster or a Black-Winged Dragon, you can banish this in order to recur one of your Blackwing monsters in the grave. Very nice. Next up, we have Sudri, which is an absolutely insane card. When this card is normal summoned, no hard ones per turn on this as well, so you can do this multiple times. When this card is normal summoned, you can add a card that mentions Black-Winged Dragon from your deck to your hand, including something like Vada or Blackbird Close. Now, if you don't know what Blackbird Close does, it's just it's a monster effect negate. You send a face of Blackwing you control to the graveyard, negate the activation of a monster effect, and then destroy it. Then you can special summon a Black-Winged Dragon from your extra deck. Very nice. On top of that, if you control a Blackwing Synchro or a Blackwing Dragon, you can activate this card from your hand, protecting it from things like the Harpy's Feather Duster or what have you. Very good card. This card was actually limited to 2 in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links because of how good it was. So there you go. But yeah, Suzerain just is fantastic for being able to give you an additional search without requiring specifically Black Whirlwind. And then on top of that, you are also able to tribute a monster in order to grab a level 2 tuner. So that's also very nice. Next up, we have Simoon, which if you have no other monsters, you can banish, or if you control no monsters, you can banish this card, you can banish a Blackwing monster from your hand and then place a Black Whirlwind, then normal summon this card as an additional normal summon, allowing you to trigger the Black Whirlwind as well as the search. So that's very nice. And then you get an additional search. This card is absolutely fantastic and definitely warranted. And then we have the Zonda, which is able to banish itself from the graveyard in order to special summon out a Simoon. Very nice. Next up, we have Black Whirlwind, just an additional search. Very good. We have Black Feather Whirlwind, which if you special summon a Dark Synchro monster from the extra deck, you can target a Blackwing monster or a Blackwing dragon that is banished or in your grave and special summon it. That has less attack than that monster. Also, if a Dark Synchro you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can remove a Black Feather counter from the field instead. That doesn't really matter all that much. I guess it gives you protection with your Blackwing Assault Dragon if your opponent activates a monster effect, giving this guy a Black Feather counter. You can then protect it. So there's that. But we're playing 2 of that one. And we're playing one basically just Mirror Force, but you do have to control 5 Blackwings. Again, not Blackwinged Dragons or Blackwinged Assault Dragons, but Blackwings in your graveyard to destroy all of your opponent's cards. And it's only on direct attacks as well, not just any attacks. Next up, we have Twin Shadow, which is kind of a way to make another synchro. It's interesting. You shuffle 2 Blackwings, a tuner and a non-tuner, that are banished or in your graveyard, into the deck, and then special summon a Blackwing Synchro or a Blackwinged Dragon, whose extra deck, from your extra deck, whose levels are exactly the total levels of the shuffled monsters. And then if you control 2 Blackwing monsters, you can do this from your hand. And then we have Blackbird Close, which I've talked about previously. As for the extra deck, we're just playing a 2-armed winged dragon, Blackwing armed wing, which never came up. We're playing 3 of the new tuner synchro monster, which just requires a dark tuner and a non-tuner monster. And then if this card is synchro summoned, you can send a Blackwing monster from your deck to your grave. And if you do, this card's level becomes the same as that monster's. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can banish a Blackwing monster from your graveyard or face a field, except the destroyed monster, and special summon the destroyed monster to your field in defense position, which is basically just Go-Yo Guardian. This is okay, but the first effect is really what makes it good because of the new level 10, which requires a tuner synchro monster and a non-tuner monster, meaning that you can level modulate to something like a 2 to make it with a Blackwinged Dragon, or you could, level modulate, and then if you have something like another 6 or a 4 or what have you, you could also do that there. So yeah, this is basically how you're summoning this guy, and then it must be either synchro summoned or special summoned from the extra deck by banishing a tuner synchro and a winged dragon monster from your face of field and or graveyard. This means that if you end up going summon out the Bora Storm, modulate it to a level 2, go into the with the black winged dragon, you can then synchro those 2 into 1 assault dragon and then banish them from the graveyard to make a second. Now, why would we want to do this? Because it's basically Masquerade. If you know what Masquerade does, each time your opponent activates a monster effect and it resolves, place a Black Feather counter on this card after the effect resolves and inflict 700 damage to your opponent. Now, notably, if you do negate it, it still technically resolves, so you're still inflicting damage, but it is after the effect, not when the card is activated. Also, during your opponent's turn, you could tribute this card in order to, with 4 or more Black Feather counters on it, to destroy all cards on the field. All of them. Blow them up. That doesn't really come up. It can also be called by, because reasons. But yeah, it's in effect. Next up, we have our Blackwing Armor Master. It's just kind of a guy, doesn't really do much. You make him if you have really bad hands. We have the triple Black Winged Dragon, and then of course the 1 full Armor Master, which is just a big unaffected bungus. He's entirely unaffected by all card effects, so even something like Kalut isn't going to work. So that's the deck. Let's hop into the replays and show you how this deck performs. Alright, so here we are going first, and this is just going to show you the basic combos that we want. So we're going to start off with the Black Whirlwind and normal summon the Sudri. Sudri will then allow us to search, and then we're going to chain the Black Whirlwind. They're going to negate that. That's fine. We already have the Vada, so it doesn't really matter. That is a good negate target, though, so it does make sense. So yeah, we're going to search out the Sharnga, because we already have the Vada, off of our Black Whirlwind. We're then going to use the Vada effect in order to go into the Black Winged Dragon, and then special summon out the... then we ended up special summoning out the Sharnga, which would then allow us to go into the Boraster. This then can send Shamel, because we want it to be a level 4, and Shamel can also banish itself to grab up that Blackwing, so that's what we're doing there. We're then going to go for the Zonda, which we utilized in order to make our Black-Winged Dragon, with our Vada, in order to go and summon our Simoon. We're then going to link those off, synchro those off into the Full Armor Master, activate the Shamel to grab back our Vada, and then banish 2 cards in order to go into the 1 Black-Winged Assault Dragon. Now, you can end on either 2 Black-Winged Assault Winged Dragons, which makes it so that their monster effect activations are much lower, or you can end on Full Armor Master. I think Full Armor Master is just always better, because a lot of decks have a difficulty dealing with this, so having to deal with both basically a timer, as well as having the Full Armor Master to deal with, makes it a bit more difficult. And then on top of that, because we do have the Chinook, it makes it a lot better to actually make this guy, because you can negate something that would potentially walk over it with 3,700 attack or less, and you can just prevent them from actually doing that. So there you go. They're going to reveal that they're on tier, and for some reason I didn't activate my Sharnga and just let this go through. Whoops! Should have definitely done that, but oh well. They're going to go and normal summon Rhinoheart, and I'm like, that's fine. I'm going to go for the Synchro Summon here, and I thought that I had the ability to make a second Black-Winged Assault Dragon, but I don't because of reasons. So I'm a little bit confused on that one, but less. Out comes the Black-Winged Dragon, but yeah, it's anyway, we're gonna negate the Rhinoheart as well here off of the Chinook here, but they are going to reveal that they are they send the Agito off of Foolish Burial, and they're going to activate their Merly effect, which will resolve, and they will fusion summon into Kaleido Heart, and then they'll take an additional 700. They're going to pop my monster, and they actually do this incorrectly. I still have yet to use my Sharnga, so I still have the ability to pop the Perlino, which would also put the Kaleido Heart below the 3,000, or below 3,100, which means that they can't get over the Full Armor Master. So I actually do get to pop the Perlino and keep the Black-Winged Assault Dragon, and they're instead going to shuffle away the Black-Winged Dragon. So there's that. We're going to activate the... this guy's activating constantly when a monster effect activates on the field. It puts a wedge counter on there, and then I can target a monster my opponent controls with a wedge counter and just steal it. So there's that. We're going to deal a whole bunch of damage to them, and they're going to end on this, which is pretty pitiful, I'm not going to lie. We draw into the Bora, which is fine, and I'm just going to steal their Kaleido Heart. They're going to activate Gravekeeper's Trap, which is like, okay, sure. They're going to grab the Kelback. I'm going to normal summon the Bora. My opponent just concedes, realizing the game is over. So, yeah, there you go. Good game. Alright, so how well does this deck do going second? Well, let's see what we can do. So we drew a pretty decent hand, that being the Simoon as well as the Sudri, and other cards to banish. And my opponent is on Marinsets. They seem to not have opened the best of hands, seeing as how they are normal summoning the Mandarin. Out comes the Sleepy Maiden, out comes the Mandarin, and then they are going to link that off into the Sea Angel, and then activate the effect of the Sea Angel in order to search out the Battle Ocean. They're then going to activate the Battle Ocean in order to, have that for later. Then they're going to go into Splash Mage, bring out the Coral Anemone, activate the effect of the Battle Ocean for reasons, because they can, I guess, I don't know. Bring back the Splash Mage will then bring back another monster, and then they can go into the Marbled Rock. I don't know why we're going for the Marbled Rock. I guess they're adding back the Sleepy Maiden, but honestly, I don't know why we wouldn't have gone for the Coral Triangle to add up the Marinsess Wave. But alas, out comes the Aqua Argonaut. They're going to activate the effect. Now, notably, this was not made with Crystal Heart, I don't know, the Heart monster, which means that it is affected. Even with the field spell up, you can activate cards and negate this or interact with this in other ways, so you will see that take place here. So they're going to activate the effect of the Battle Ocean and set 3 cards, and then set an additional 2. So we're going to start off with the Simoon, and we drew into Blackbird Close, which is fantastic. They're going to negate the Black Whirlwind, but that is totally fine because we have the Sudri, which then allows us 2 searches. So we're going to search the Vada as well as the Shamal, and then we're going to activate the Shamal, which they will call by, which is totally fine with me. And yeah, so away goes the Shamal. We're then going to special summon the Gale here, which we will then try to have the attack of the Aqua Argonaut, and they will Forbidden Droplet that, sending the Sleepy Maiden from hand. I don't know why we wouldn't have sent something like this from the back row, but alas, sure. Anyway, out comes Vada, so yeah, we're just off to the races here. We're going to send ourselves the Zonda, and then we are going to tribute the Gale that was negated with the Sudri. So now we can go and special summon out our this card, Boreaster. We ended up sending the Sharnga here off of the Boreaster, which then allows us to just deal with the Aqua Argonaut, basically ending the game. Yeah, we're going to then synchro into the Full Armor Master, and then synchro again into the Black Winged Assault Dragon. This then also allows us to go for the Twin Shadow here in order to go for the Black Winged Dragon, and then just proceed to battle. This game is well over, because we have well over lethal damage, so good game. Alright, so here we are once again going first, and ooh, this hand is... yikes. Okay, let's see what we can do. We do have the double Black Whirlwind, maybe we could do something here. Okay. I ended up seeing a line here. So what I can do is I can normal summon the Harmatan, and then we can get a few searches. So one of these searches is going to be Sharnga, which is also very nice, but the important one is the Orochi. So we're going to search out the Sharnga, and then we are going to search out the Orochi. But because I happen to draw the second Harmatan, I am now able to go and special summon the Harmatan, modulating its level, increasing it by 1, giving me the, with the Orochi here. So this means that I now have 6 levels with 1 tuner, giving me access to the Boreaster, or Boreastorm. Yeah, Boreastorm. We're going to activate the Orochi here, which is just funny. I kind of figured they had something, and out comes the DD Crow, and I'm like, great, that's totally fine. But yeah, we're going to... this is actually just more so to chain block, which is why I'm activating this guy's effect, which, if it's sent to the graveyard, you can target a monster on the field and change its battle position, but that doesn't really matter. We're going to go for the Boreas Storm here and send to the graveyard a Zephyros, which then allows me to bounce a Black Whirlwind, and then special summon out my Sharnga, which can then go for the... we can then synchro into the Black Winged Dragon, synchro those off into Full Armor Master, and then banish 2 of our monsters to go for the Black Winged Assault Dragon, and then setting the Backlash, which doesn't do anything. But at this point, this is a pretty good board, given how bad our hand was with the double Harmatan and basically nothing else. So there you go. That's why we're playing Orochi, for that basically exact reason. My opponent is going to go for the Widow Anchor to negate the effect of our Black Winged Assault Dragon, which is kind of odd because it doesn't really do anything. Like, you're just activating spells. This only really works on monster effects, so there's that. But they are going to pop our Black Winged Assault Dragon and then go into Hayate off of their array. I'm just going to pop the Hayate. They're going to go for the linkage, and I'm like, that's totally fine. At least I'm not taking damage, and you don't get to send anything there. Like, for example, a Rose, which could have been a problem. But yeah, they're going to go for the Kagari to add themselves a engage, and then go for the engage effect, and then they draw into the second engage, because of course they do. Why would they not? They're gonna go for the Cosmic Cyclone and hit the Black Whirlwind, but they know I have Black Whirlwind in it. I don't know why they wouldn't have just gone for the second card, but that's fine. Again, I'm like, I really don't know how you out Full Armor Master, so there's that. We're gonna give them a little token at the as they activate the Shizuku effect, or not token, feather counter, but yeah, this now allows me to steal the Shizuku, and then they're going to activate the Shark Cannon. Now, notably, Shark Cannon has the ability to steal effects, to steal monsters. However, Black Winged Assault Dragon, notably, wasn't summoned properly, which means you can't summon it back from the graveyard. The reason is we summoned this by banishing 2 monsters from the grave, not by synchro summoning it. So, it wasn't properly synchro summoned, meaning it wasn't properly summoned, meaning they can't steal it. So they don't have an out to Full Armor Master. Cool. we're going to go and search out a monster here with the Black Whirlwind. Just kidding, it's going to be Ash. But yeah, we're just going to go to battle and deal as much damage as we can. Now, notably, during the end phase, we can also blow up the card that we ended up stealing here, or just destroy all monsters on the field with a wedge counter. So yeah, I just choose to do that, and away it goes. They're going to go and activate their multi-roll, and then activate Widow Anchor, and then concede, realizing that they can't really do anything because my card is unaffected, and they had a 1 out, and it didn't even work. So, whoops. Good game. Alright, we're back with the deck, and in all honesty, again, this isn't the best way to play the deck. Obviously, we are missing a bunch of cards, but as a little challenge, I do think that this is still pretty good. The Black Wings, just in general, are a pretty nice archetype. Being able to now actually end on a pretty decent going first board with things like Full Armor Master as well as multiple Assault Dragons is very strong. Even in the TCG, though, they are still able to end on things like Dragoon, which is hilarious. You go into like the Mud Dragon, and then you go into the Fusion Monster, utilizing that the Mud Dragon Synchro. So stuff like that, pretty interesting. All in all, I don't know. This archetype's fine. It's a bit bricky and inconsistent, and the end boards aren't exactly the most difficult to break. Even with Full Armor Master, if you get anything that's above 3,000 attack points, which basically every deck has the ability to make, it's pretty easy to deal with. So there's that. But all in all, I do think that there is a great upgrade with the Black Wings now, and they now have a very nice deck. However, I will say this is still not even close to the best of the structure decks. I think Salamangreat is just far and away the best one. You also have access to like the Dark Magician one, which gives you access to Illusion as well as Magician Souls, which are 2 highly valuable cards. But Black Wings are definitely up there. They're one of the better ones. So there's that. If you like the deck, obviously pick it up. It's very cheap. And it's very nice, and it means that you don't have to build like all of these URs. Instead, you just have to make a few, right? 1, 2, 3, maybe 3. So that's a lot more manageable. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, like us very much, appreciate it. And if you want to check out more content like this as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh, then just be sure to subscribe. And really, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.